Okay, so I'm not gonna do a review for Shazam: Fury of the Gods because I just don't feel like it. It's an okay movie at best. It's definitely not as good as the first one, and you're probably only going to watch it one time and never watch it again. But I wanted to talk about a situation that surrounds both Shazam and Black Adam. And for the most part, especially since Zachary Levi has been a lot more open with things that happen behind the scenes in regards to The Rock basically making decisions that affected not only his own movie but affected their movie as well. There's a conversation to be had about The Rock and his ego, and how instead of us getting two mid movies, if he had put his ego to the side and was more open to the Shazam universe, we could have gotten one really, really, really good movie. Now, for a lot of you who don't know, a few years ago, you should definitely go watch it. DC's animation side put out a movie where it was Shazam versus, well, technically it's Black Adam versus Superman and Shazam. And that movie was good. Like, it had stakes because for Superman it's his first time encountering magic and he gets bested by Black Adam, but then once he realizes that all he really has to do is avoid the magical lightning bolts Black Adam is hurling at him, he can match him on a physical level. But then it's also a journey of Billy Batson's character to become an actual hero in the mold of Superman, and he's able to best Teth Adam, defeat him, and basically reclaim his powers as Shazam. Now, in the Black Adam movie, what you basically have is Teth Adam's son dies. Upon his son's death, he receives the power. Well, technically, his son passes the power of Shazam over to him, then his son dies. And with his son's death, he basically cuts a swath through the entire city of Kahndaq in ancient times, kills the king, and for his transgressions, the wizard Shazam and the other wizards use their powers to seal him away and lock him away forever. Of course, eventually, he becomes released. He has to deal with the final plots of the ancient Kahndaqi royal family. He has to find his place in the world. He has to deal with the guilt that he has over his son's death and his role in like this greater universe. Of course, the movie at the end turns into a big CGI fest, and it's quippy one-liners, The Rock basically playing The Rock. But hear me out. What if both of these movies were combined? What if The Rock didn't want to fight Superman, the Justice League, and then lead the Justice League to fight Marvel? Yes, that is an actual thing that you can Google and look up. It is insane, the plans that The Rock had. What if, basically, it's the wizard Shazam's skeletons being revealed? At the end of the first Shazam movie, they see the chair belonging to someone. They don't know who. There's a lightning bolt sound, cuts to black. In this movie, we could explore Black Adam and the wizard Shazam's basically animosity towards each other, where his son's sacrifice, his son's death in ancient times propels his hatred for the wizard Shazam. Why? Because the wizard chooses children to be heroes. Then he sends those children off to fight these ridiculous threats that could get them killed, instead of choosing people that could be the soldiers that the wizard Shazam is actually looking for. This is a really funny allegory to Power Rangers, where you can argue that Power Rangers is basically children soldiers sent off to fight and die for a cause that they do not understand, that is poorly explained to them, and by the time that they are basically roped in and indoctrinated, it's way too late. But back on Black Adam and Shazam. So, Black Adam, he is sealed away by the wizard Shazam, locked away. Shazam, trying to basically study the powers of the Rock of Eternity, but also figure out who this last chair belongs to, The wizard isn't there to stop him. He accidentally releases Teth Adam. Black Adam returns. What does Black Adam see? A bunch of children playing with the powers of gods. This immediately reminds him of his son, and it sets him on a path to strip all of these children of their powers, find the wizard Shazam, and kill him, finally, to basically avenge not only his son, but all of the children that have been sacrificed for this war or this role of Shazam. That's great, because you can focus around Freddy, where Freddy could be the very first person that Black Adam basically steals the powers from, and he has him in Kahndaq. And Freddy and Black Adam have a back and forth where they're talking about each other, and Freddy gets to basically understand that Adam isn't doing this out of some level of hatred. He's not a character that is a outright villain. He does things for love, the love of his people, the love of his wife, the love of his son, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to basically keep those people safe. With those people gone, he is basically directing all of his anger and frustration against the person he feels like is the cause of his situation, the wizard himself. He steals Freddy's powers, he steals the other kids' powers, only Billy's powers are left. And when he takes Billy's powers, it is both Billy and Freddy who are able to basically talk Adam down off of the ledge. You could even have a situation where you reintroduce Superman into the film, where Superman shows up, he's attempting to back up Shazam because all of the other children have lost their powers. Now it's basically just Adam versus Adam versus Superman, because Billy no longer has powers. And throughout the entire fight, it's Billy basically trying to talk Black Adam down off of that ledge from killing Superman because he's wielding too much power and he's going to end up destroying the world. And it's that conversation that makes Adam realize, hey, it's not that the wizard is choosing children. He's choosing the character of the children. He's choosing their innocence. He's choosing this light. He's choosing the best person who at heart fits the role of a guardian and protector. His son at heart was a light. His son was the light of his life. And because of the fact that his son was the light of his life, he was the perfect person to wield the powers of Shazam. The same way Billy is, the same way Freddy is, the same way all these kids are. All these kids are the best embodiments of humanity. They're the continued legacy that his son tried to uplift before he died. And Black Adam returns the powers of Shazam to all of the children. He stands down, and then he decides to go back to Kahndaq and rebuild basically his country. You have no idea how deep of a character Black Adam is, that if The Rock had actually cared, if he had taken his ego, put it to the side, if he had actually given a shit, he could have had a dynamic, multi-layered character that fits the role of an anti-hero at first, a father at heart, and a hero at the end of the day. But all he saw was money signs. All he saw was big names. He didn't want Shazam. He didn't want to do anything with that universe. He didn't want a deep character. He just wanted to be the big man on screen, throwing punches against the other big man on screen. And it created two poor projects. Like sitting down and hearing about the fact that Shazam is supposed to cameo in Black Adam and he said no, or that characters in Black Adam are supposed to cameo in Shazam and he said no. It's just absolutely wild to me. It's crazy. It's crazy that somebody who thought that they were going to come in and basically take over the role as the main man in the DC universe didn't want to create the interconnective tissues to create a great DC universe. And even if James Gunn was supposed to come in and wipe everything away, The Rock could have put his boot in it, and DC could have been like, okay, the same way that Matt Reeves is over here doing his Batman thing, we like what you're doing with Shazam. We're gonna let you be over here doing your own Shazam thing. You, Zachary Levi, all these kids having a ball in Shazam world. But nope. My man tried to take over the entire pie, son. The Rock is that guy who you invite to the cookout, and he brings absolutely nothing. He doesn't bring soda. He doesn't bring beer. He doesn't bring chips. He doesn't bring a side dish. He doesn't bring anything to throw on the grill. He shows up with 2 big plates, scoops up all the food, and when you say something to him, gets mad, throws them in the trash, turns around, and leaves. Oh boy, I can only hope that like we get the Black Adam character that we deserve. I'm hoping that we end up getting the Black Adam character that we deserve. But hey, who knows? Let me know what you think. Like, do you think that the Rock really missed the mark? That if he really cared and really wanted to, he could have gave us a super dope Black Adam versus Shazam movie? Or am I just insane? And as people have labeled me, a Rock hater? Comment down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.